Hello and welcome to his monthly spiritual reading. The purpose of this is to help give you insights on how to become a better you by divination. These readings are typically good for men who are in a serious relationship, i.e. husbands, fiancés, boyfriends, those who are looking to take it to the next level. My name is Tamana. I will be your divination for today. I've been divining for over 10 plus years. I've also traveled other schools of thoughts, including Tantra, to bring you a wealth of knowledge to your reading. These readings are typically good for 14 days. It covers a little bit about your past, what's going on with you right now, and 14 days into the future. So do me a favor before we get started, hit the like, share, and subscribe button. Now these readings are set up, if you're looking at the zodiac reading, I usually do it in sets of 3. So look for the video that corresponds with your sign. And if this is like a book review / reading or a tantric man's reading, just look for the timestamp for the card or the crystal or the words that you are trying to focus on for the month. So let's get started without further delay. And it is a pleasure to do your reading.
That was awesome. Hi, everyone. Let's go ahead and get started. Let's switch me out. Just 1 second. Hide, show in the stream. Okay, great. So this is for the monthly reading for September 2020 for the Warrior Archetype. I'm going to go ahead and do some adjusting around so that you can see what is actually going on. But yeah, so the thing for this is, again, I don't remember what it was the last time I did the readings, but for you, a warrior, this is a bit of tough love. And it is in the form of you should have turned left, but you went right. Okay. And it's kutujale, meaning it's not guaranteed. Okay. So this is a new situation, which is good. Sometimes it's the same situation where you're practicing insanity, doing the same thing over and over and expecting different results. But this one right here is not the same. It's in kutujale. But it isn't a warning or a lesson to be learned. Okay, so let's get into it. This is my style. I like to go line for line. I like to see which Odu is speaking the strongest and then go line for line. But before we get into that, let's get into the Proverbs. Okay, the first proverb for you is he who pays remains free. Okay, if you pay, meaning you have to pay the cost to be the boss. There are no free lunches at this time. So don't be trying to get stuff for free. Don't be trying to sneak it in. Hey, let me get a coupon on a discount. For you right now, the energy is what you pay is what you get. Do you understand? To whom much is given, much is required. There are no free lunches. Okay. So the second proverb is, are you overextending yourself? It is extend your hand as far as it will reach. Are you overextending yourself? Are you over-promising and under-delivering? Those are the things that are, and I hope you guys can hear me, that is the Proverbs for your reading. So now we'll get into the Odu. The first Odu that wishes to speak is Yamoja. So this is my style. I like to go line for line, and let me go ahead and change out this crawler. I like to go line for line to see which ones pertain to you. If it pertains to you, then I'll say something. If not, you'll just continue to see me do this. Okay? All right. So, okay, this is speaking upon digging holes or graves. There is an interference of establishing civilization, community, or roots. This Odu is speaking of living in one's bounds of one culture and receiving communal protection. This Odu also is referred to one of adultery, polygamy, polyamory, and betrayal of one's systems and values, especially when you're not being honest with yourself and your partners. Okay? No sneaking around. Again, there is no free lunch at this time. That does not pertain to you. The reference in this Odu references Yemoja, Oya, Elegba, and even Oshun. In Oshe, one finds emotional compensation. And I'll explain all of that in just a minute. Take care of your eyes and take care of your stomachs. Okay? It also talks about placate of women's female power. So for your offering or ebo, or what you give to those either orishas, elementals, ancestors, even your higher self, the offering you give, say, hey, I need help with this, and I'm giving you this in exchange for helping with that. They call that an ebo, or an offering. For your offering, you need to DM me because it's a bit intense. So if this reading, the warrior spirit resonates with you for this month, for September, just DM me and we'll work it out, okay? Okay, so Odi deals with Yemuja. So that's the mother, psychic abilities, following your hunches, business, adultery, cultural customs, sticking to cultural customs, things of that nature. Okay. Talks about you being hypersensitive, not sleeping well at night. These are general readings. Again, these are good for 14 days. It covers a little bit about your past, what's going on with you right now, and 14 days into the future. It talks about missing a mother. If not, you will miss one soon. If you have any type of ailments that are ailing you, you need to go to the doctor, because what can be small now can turn up to be really, really big. Okay. There are 3 people who pretend to be interested in you. Be careful one of them doesn't bring you like some type of illness or gossip and say that you said it and you get caught up in some drama. Okay. This talks about psychic ability. So you have the ability to see the enemies in the sleep. So you got, it says you're not sleeping well. We got to get that sleep pattern together. So if you're not sleeping well because you can't sleep, then let's work on that. Let's talk about that. If you're not, sleeping well because of stress, again, let's talk about that. Okay? Let's work on that. That is one of your elbows. But you got to get sleep, because some of the messages that are going to come to you are going to be in your dreams. So when it talks about dreams, yes, I usually like to say, hey, now's the time to do a dream journal. So when you do a dream journal, it's just like a simple book. And I have the book. Hold on. Oh my gosh. Mine. It's a simple book. You keep it right beside you. Wake up. Right when you wake up. And if you really want to get extra, you can do what you go to sleep. Write down something right before you sleep. Try to keep that thought on your mind as you drift off. And then when you wake up, you write down the first things that come to mind, because dreams have a way of leading us for some reason. After we wake up and start to get into life, we can't seem to remember our dreams, which is interesting in itself, but you can. Another technique, and this is what a lot of masters would do, is they would pick a time, like literally like nap time, and they would hold some balls in their hand. Like, I don't know what those balls are called. They're like meditation balls. They're about this big, and there's 2 of them, and you just turn them in your hand and have like little chimes in it. Or you can do, golf balls, whatever, something in your hand. And so as you're about to take a nap, you're holding these balls over the chair, okay? And as you drift off, you're thinking of the answer or the question that you have. Let me turn off this logo because it's all in the way. Okay. And so as you drift off, you have what your thought is in your mind. And as you go to sleep, your hand will release the balls and they'll hit the floor. By the time they hit the floor, to the time you're thinking of whatever you're thinking of, that little time frame, because in quantum physics, time is irrelevant. Even though it's like a millisecond for us, it can be a plethora of opportunity when you start dealing in the time space in quantum physics. So by the time they hit the floor and you wake up and because you're startled, the answer will be the answer to your question will have came to you, and you can just write that down. So I gave you two techniques, right? When you regularly sleep, and then the ball technique when you want to get short answers in a fast amount of time with a nap. I've tried both; they both do work. So that's what it's saying. The gift of seeing your enemies in your sleep. Odie talks about the whole first stuff. So whatever you do now, like good or bad, you'll find that you're doing it 6 months from now, 3 months, 3 months from now, 6 months from now, 2 years, 3 years, 6 years. It's very long lasting and wide. So whatever road that you decided, okay, I should have turned left when I went right and I should have turned left. We need to correct that, because you could find yourself doing it long term, and you can even find yourself giving it to your family and your children where it stays in your lineage. Well, these like epigenetics. If that makes sense. Okay. Well, these curious and gave birth to Bunda. Odie gives everything big. Okay? So there's nothing small, big and long lasting. Switch this. When's the last time you visited your mother, whether dead or alive? When was the last time you hung out with your mom? That is a good idea. Okay, it talks about, your money being a little funny. People are laughing. So this person is broke and everyone is laughing. Don't worry, you'll be sitting on some money soon. If you are married, take care to bring happiness in your house, because you're vulnerable to people working you. Juju to break up your house through the arguments is where that thing will come. Follow all your hunches. Very psychic right now, okay? Strengthening your family relationships. You should not go to the beach right now. It won't be your friend. Be careful what you say around children. Children will give you away. Like, they're very, very honest. Also, in OD, be careful of the law, because people might raise a lot of accusation. Don't do things in groups of threes. Like when there's 3 people, either get another person or don't do it, okay? Talks about stiffness of joints, Charlie horses. Be careful when you're having sex, especially if, okay, so let's just back up. Adultery is not going to be a good idea. For some of you, okay, this reading covers a little bit about your past, what's going on with you right now, and 14 days into the future. So if it was in the past, let the past be the past. Yamaja says she does not want you doing that right now, and she will bring STDs if you're not going to listen. You know what I'm saying? So it's just best not to even, because that's now in your space, it's just best not to do it. At least not right now, okay? She says Yamaja punishes stubborn children through the booty with bleeding through the rectum. So that is something about stress, hemorrhoids, things of that nature. Be careful what you eat. It also talks about ulcers. Again, with stress. You should not eat ram
You
or
should not eat
okra or
ram
intestines
or
of
okra
birds
or
or
intestines
animals.
of birds or animals.
Okay, and so that's your moja.
Okay, and so that's your moja.
He who pays remains free, so
He who pays remains free, so you have to do the work in order to get what it is you're
whatever
trying
way
to get.
you turn left,
Whatever way you turn left and you should have turned right.
Now is the time
to fix that.
Okay, so your next one
is Oyad. Oyad deals with change.
Ancestors. You know, she is the deity of change. She says,
I'm gonna give you a little while to change.
And if you don't, then I'm going to do it. But you're not going to like the way I do it because I destroy everything. And then you have no other choice but to rebuild. The proverb is, I destroy in order to create. If you think of it like, if you have to clear the forest, you have to take down and chop down all the trees in order to build houses and businesses and shops to use those trees for something else. But the forest was cleared, i.e. destroyed, in order for something new to be created out of it, if that makes sense. Okay? So that is Yemoja. Let's get into it. Not Yemoja, Oyad. She also deals with ancestors. Marketplace, that means businesses collaborating. So like expos, fairs, bazaars, festivals, where everybody comes together to create something. In your house, there's a lot of revolution. Even if it's covered up, it could be a great thing, okay? You need to allow it to happen. It might be with a doctor. Be careful of fires. Don't argue with anyone. Don't let anyone sleep in your house. It could bring you setbacks to problems, okay? Always do things in front of a witness. If not, they will ask later for more than they gave you. If you have any Orisha or deities or relics or whoever you deem as a religious higher power in that line, you need to take some TLC. You need to feed it. You need to GMP. You need to dust it off. When's the last time you dusted it off? When's the last time you oiled it down? When's the last time you rang the bell? When's the last time you changed the water? You need to do that. Even if you're Christian, when was the last time you dusted off your Bible? Does the Bible need a Bible cover? Is the Bible cover worn? Did you want to change from paper to cloth? Do you need to add extra bookmarks or tabs? You need to do some TLC work in that area. Okay, again, it's talking about making sure you're taking care of your ancestors, okay? So if you do not have an ancestor altar, now is a good time to do that. You can Google or YouTube on how to make an ancestor altar, or you can DM me and we'll go over it, no problem. But it is talking about some type of communion with the ancestors. Now, how does this deal with Tantra and all that good stuff? So with Tantra, as we get into the energy and things of that nature, we are going to tap into our DNA. And one of the ways in order to help tap into that DNA is to establish a relationship with those who have came before us, who are in our lineage, i.e. ancestor altar, right? Just like how the thing on the bottom, I don't know what that's, the little scrolly thing, at the beginning of this reading talked about the house of the man, how you are a composite of all the DNA traits of the man dating back 10,000 years in your lineage. Well, that's all well and good, but how will we put it into practical practice? You put it through practical practice by establishing an ancestor altar and visiting it regularly and learning to gain understanding and learning to feel the different energies of your ancestors, i.e. your traits in your DNA. It is a very real thing. Many cultures, just about all the cultures all over the world have some type of ritual or acknowledgement of their ancestors, of those who came prior to them in their lineage. So for you with Oyad deals with ancestors. She's saying, hey, if you don't have one, get one. And if you got one, go from version 1.0 to 2.0. And if you have version 2.0, go from 2.0 to 3.0. Does that make sense? Got it. I think it does. Okay, so that's what that's saying. And you gotta have dreams. It's talking about dreams, like your ancestors want to communicate with you in your dreams. So you have dreams that you see your enemies in your sleep. So you must dream. But you have your dreams of your ancestors trying to contact you too. So if you're not getting rest, let's try to work on that so that you are. Okay. You have a relative in a foreign country that you may hear from. Okay, it looks like you have some geopathic stress in your house. No, you don't. Never mind. That don't pertain to you. Your house, there's a lot of... Never mind. That don't pertain to you. Easily frustrated. Very much in that oh yeah energy. Be careful your business and valuables, even your documents and properties, borrowed money. People will deny you when you go to collect. Everywhere you go, you need to make sure your eyes are open and you're aware of your surroundings, because you do have some haters. And again, don't let anybody sleep in your house. Not at this time, not for the next 14 days. Don't lend out your keys. Don't do any favors. Don't have things thrown around. Things that you have left behind, leave them behind. Do not go back to get them. Okay, that's good. Don't fight, because you can hurt yourself and put yourself in a deeper trap, because your haters will use that negative emotion to trap you up in more negative energy, if that makes sense. Talks about you starting to fight easily. Okay, still talking. You are your best friend. Correction. Your best friend is your worst enemy. You are your best friend. No. You are your best friend, and you are your worst enemy. I remember one time I said this to somebody. She said, I don't have any friends. I said, you didn't listen. I said, your best friend is your worst enemy. You are the best friend. And she was like, oh, yeah. So I had to say it twice, just in case you didn't quite hear, okay? So let's recap. Let's not overextend ourselves. There's no free lunches, okay? You have a mother and you're missing her, go see her. Whether she's dead or alive, go see her. Put some flowers on her grave if she's not there. Go see her. Have a mom and Sunday. Go see her, right? You need to get some rest. You're not getting enough rest. Psychic abilities will increase with rest, because there's dreams that are messages that you are not getting because you're not getting enough rest. The body needs at least 4 hours of sleep for rest and repair. And after that, then it's dream work. So you need at least 5 hours, okay? At least 5 hours, okay? Don't let anybody sleep in your house. Watch what you eat. Change is a good thing. Anything that you see that's going on with you, no matter how big or how small, go to the doctors, because what can be small now can get bigger later, okay? Make sure you don't abuse your customs. Stay with your customs. Adultery is dangerous at this time, and it can bring long-term repercussions. OD is big and gives everything big. So what I want you to focus on for this next 2 weeks, where we at in time frame? 24? Okay, I got 30 seconds to wrap this up. What we need to focus on in the next 2 weeks is getting your sleep together. Getting your habits together, right? Getting your ancestor altar. DM me if you want to know more about the additional offering and recommendations that were given to you, because I feel it's a little bit too much for Facebook and YouTube, and it's a little bit more personal. If you would like a personal reading from me, also DM me. I'll give you a coupon at 10% off of my services. I do Tantra work. I also do divination and energy clearings along with the house, business, things of that nature. I can get really jiggy with it, and that's what I do. That's my purpose. So this is your monthly reading for you, warrior spirit. It was a little bit touch and go. It's not going to be all roses. It's more work right now, as opposed to having it be easy peasy. These blessings are coming to you. Well, what you're going to do is you're going to set yourself up to up for success, more blessings into the future. So take care. Bye.